Hello everyone, today we are going to look for the concept that is called as CPU scheduling algorithm. Here the CPU scheduling is going to deal with the problem of deciding which of the processes in the ready queue is to be allocated to the CPU. In today's lecture we are going to solve one problem on FCFS scheduling. There are different types of scheduling algorithms are available. The first one is called as first come first served scheduling. In short it is FCFS. Second is shortest job first, that is SJF scheduling. Third one is called as priority scheduling. Fourth type of algorithm is called as round robin, that is RR scheduling. Next is called as multi-level queue scheduling, and at the last multi-level feedback queue scheduling algorithm. So total there are 6 types of scheduling algorithms are available. Now we are going to solve the problem that is based on FCFS scheduling algorithm. So you can see in the given example there are total 3 processes are available which are named as P1, P2 and P3. Their corresponding execution time, or you can say burst time, is given as 2, 3 and 5, and their arrival time is 1, 2 and 0 is given respectively. So from this particular criteria, the structure that you want over here is called as Gantt chart that we are going to display, that we are going to draw over here. So as you can see from the given table, at the 0th time unit, the process that is available in the ready queue is P3. So we will allocate the process P3 to the CPU. It requires the burst time of 5, means it will start at 0th time unit and it will end at 5th time unit. Now the execution of this P3 process is going to end up at 5th time unit. After this, the short term scheduler will decide which process to allocate it to the CPU. Now there are only 2 processes, that is P1 and P2 are there in the ready queue, and according to their arrival time, now it will select the process P1 from the ready queue because it is having the arrival time of 1, and afterward P2 which is having the arrival time of 2. So you can schedule the next process is P1 which will start at the 5th time unit, and as it is having the burst time of 2, it will end up at 7th time unit, and at the last the scheduler is going to select the process P2 which will take the 3 time unit, that is execution time, and it will end up at 10th time unit. So by this way we are going to construct the Gantt chart for the given problem. Now after this we will calculate the wait time, the turnaround time, and their corresponding averages we are going to calculate. So for 3 processes corresponding burst time and arrival time that I have mentioned in the particular table, as per the Gantt chart you can say that the P1 process will start at the 5th time unit, the P2 process will start at 7th time unit, and P3 process will start at 0th time unit. So we are having now the 4 units, that is process ID, burst time, arrival time and their start time. So from this data we are going to calculate now the wait time for each and every process. Wait time is the time that is going to be wasted by a particular process in the ready queue. So we will calculate it by using the formula start time minus arrival time. So for the P1 process the start time is 5 and it is arrived at 1 time unit, so we are having the subtraction, and the wait time of this particular process is 4 time unit. As per again the given chart, the wait time for the second process is 7 minus 2, that is start time minus arrival time, and it is calculated as 5. And at the last for the process P3 the start time is 0 and the arrival time is 0. So the wait time of the third process is 0. Now, as per the given Gantt chart, we can see the finish time, that is 7 for P1, 10 for P2 and 5 for P3. So, from this we are going to calculate the turnaround time for each process. So, finish time minus arrival time is called as the turnaround time, means the particular process how much time it requires for the execution. So, for the P1 process, finish time is 7 and its arrival time is 1. So, the turnaround time for the process P1 is 6. Again, for the process P2 it is 10 minus 2, and for the third process it is 5 minus 0. So, corresponding total of these three processes is total 19, and the total wait time for these three processes is 9. From this data, we are going to calculate the average wait time for each and every process. As we have seen in the last slide, the total wait time is 9. There are total 3 processes are available. So, average wait time for each and every process is 3, and average turnaround time for each process is 6.33. Thank you.